Hey guys, there's another series that's done, and I don't have any VODs ready for you, so we're gonna do another AMA while I get stuff set up. It's definitely not because I was up playing Elden Ring and I didn't notice that it's already past midnight when the VOD's supposed to release, so yeah, let's just go. Oh, the first question is literally what games have I been playing that are not StarCraft? Elden Ring. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play games in the last month and some change because of working all the community mod manager stuff, and then I got sick, and then I had to get a lot of work done on the latest video because I was sick, and then that video came out, and then I slept for 2 days because I hadn't been sleeping very well. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring when I can, and it's been pretty fun. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but I'm in the snowy area right now, and it's very snowy. You mentioned in your most recent video that you're working as an advisor for 2RTS. Can you talk about them? No, I can't. That's what an NDA is. No, I legally cannot. I would get sued. Sorry. Why don't you do collabs and stuff with people like Loco? I don't even think Loco knows who I am. I'm not really on the radar for the majority of StarCraft content creators. I don't try to force myself into the competitive scene for reasons that I talked about in February the 13th's AMA. So I don't get much exposure to other content creators like Loco, Hearthstone, or Winter. In fact, the only ones I've ever talked to are Artosis and Pig. It's sort of a natural part of breaking into a scene that's so old. Friendships and groups have already formed, and because my content is very disassociated from theirs, I don't have the natural bridges to connect me to the rest of the scene, outside of blind DMing people, which is something I don't do because I'm a little scaredy cat and I have no idea what I'd talk about anyway. What's your favorite moment of content creation so far? When we raised $10,000 in Twitch Trolls grant to help fund mod creation, that was by far and away the best. The fact that it allowed me to help in the process of creating new and unique things instead of just leeching off somebody else's work is important to me. Creating things and setting them out into the world is fun and fulfilling no matter how stressful it might be. If an Ultralisk was dropped into the middle of the United States, how much damage would it do? I had to do a quick Google search for that one to figure out where the geographic center of the United States is, and apparently it's in South Dakota? So I'm gonna say not very much. An Ultra is pretty big, but the United States is really, really big. I don't think it would be able to get very far. It probably wouldn't even be able to find any humanity, especially because it's on the side of South Dakota that's next to Wyoming, which is even more desolate. Honestly, we could probably just leave it to, do its own thing for the rest of its life, and it would be nice and content and nobody would really care. Do I watch anime, read Japanese media, or light novels? I used to a lot more when I was younger. My teenager to early 20 years was around the time that stuff like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Steins Gate were coming out, so there was a lot of really good stuff. I also used to be really big into visual novels. My favorites are Little Busters, Steins Gate, and Umineko no Nakokoroni, so I guess I like the psychological stuff. Though with the exception of Steins Gate and Clannad, most visual novels have absolutely dreadful anime adaptations, so I'd avoid them at all costs. Nowadays, I don't really get to watch that much. The last series I saw was the second season of ReZero, and that was well over a year ago. I'm not against it or anything, it's just that sort of series takes a really long time investment to watch, and I just don't have that right now. I also got a bunch of seemingly unrelated questions about whether I'm going to ever do any public appearances and if I'm ever going to get back into speedrunning. Well, what if I could tell you that I'm intending on doing both at the same time? I always said that when GDQ came back to being a live setting instead of online, I would submit a run and see if I could get into it, and I'm going to try that. They just recently announced that they're going back to live, so I'm going to be submitting Heart of the Swarm, and obviously in order to prepare for that, I'm going to have to do a lot of grinding. I'll probably do most of the grinding off stream, but I would like to get the world record back. Though the world record route is not one that you can use in any sort of marathon setting because it is super, super risky. It takes place from June 26th until July 3rd, so it's a while ways. Do you accept fan mail? I've actually been asked this question multiple times now, and I wasn't aware until a couple months ago that there was actually any demand for it. I don't know what people would send me, and I guess I have to get a P.O. box, but I don't know how to do that, and do you have to go and pick up stuff from a P.O. box? I don't want to go to the post office. I don't even know where the post office is. Do they tell you have stuff? Does anyone know how a P.O. box works? This is now me asking you guys. I would love... Listen, this is going to be very important. If you need to know how a P.O. box works, please go down to the comments. There's going to be someone pinned, and they're going to have a lot of great answers here. For the 9th question, I got a bunch of people asking me about Touhou stuff, so here are my answers in rapid fire. I was big into WoW until 2009, where I was the main tank of my guild until we killed the heroic Lich King, and I decided I was done. I jumped ship and was waiting for StarCraft 2's release, and I ended up playing a bunch of Touhou because it was challenging, fun, and one of the few things that my horrible laptop at the time could actually play. I mostly played Touhou 6 through 11. I used to be able to occasionally beat Lunatic in some of the easier games, but not consistently. My favorite game overall is Imperishable Night. It feels the best to play to me, and the story and lore behind it is much more interesting than a lot of the other games. My favorite final boss is Yuyuko. I love the dissonance between how incredibly difficult and scary she is and the pink butterfly motif. It's visually fun. And my favorite extra boss is Marisa in Fairy Wars. It's interesting to have someone who's normally the main character serve as the super boss and have them intentionally go easy on you and still be this absolute monstrosity. Okay, I'm done. Nobody came here for a conclusion or anything, right? So, bye.